All right, guys, how the heck are you? We now have a date and a lot of the info on the new update, which is coming in 6 days' time. It's going to be the evening of March 10th into the early mornings of March 11th. It all depends on your time zone. But as you can see, we're getting the new update content preview. I want to start this video by saying this is always the precursor to the full update, breakdown, patch notes kind of thing that will show up soon, I hope. Usually it's within 1 or 2 days. Typically, you will see a lot of the juiciest stuff in this preview, but in the past, there has been some other really good stuff in the full update notes. Sometimes even the best aspects come there. It's not, I think they want to put the best stuff in the preview, but what they think is the best is not always aligned with what us, the players, are going to be most excited about. I'm going to be frank. I hope that is the case this time. We know a lot of stuff was just added to the test server. I did like a whole video. You guys can check it out from like 2 or 3 days ago, going over all the big update stuff that has already been released there. But you know, test server and Forerunner, it's not always like the second it's there, that means all that stuff's coming next for us. Sometimes it comes in waves. As of now, it seems like it's coming in waves. And I'll tell you right out of the gate, for now, it does not look like we're getting Abyss 1 with this update, the new Guild Boss Ultra Insanely Hard difficulty. You can watch my stream from yesterday, but certainly we can't rule that out still. I'll actually talk about Abyss 1 and Guild Boss 1, the Drake, right now. You know, it is crazy hard, the new difficulty. I, spent whatever it was, 2-3 hours on a very advanced Forerunner account. Not the best account in the whole realm, but a legitimately good account with great heroes and great gear, just trying to get to 12K. Originally just trying to break 5K, then break 10K, and then you can get that second chest at 12K. We got to like 11.1, which ended up being like top 20 on all of Forerunner at the time of us completing that. Probably more people did it later on in the day. But yeah, I mean, for perspective, the top chest is 60K. So I wouldn't be surprised. I actually would be hopeful of this. I don't think they should make it so much easier, but this very well might not be like the super final product. It's on test server and it's on Forerunner. Why do those servers exist? At least in theory, the test server is to test stuff so it can be tweaked and tuned before it comes to global. And the same story with the Forerunner, right? It foreruns. It's like the old beta server that now runs in terms of timeline slightly ahead of the global server. So they can ideally, then functionally it should work this way, find issues and kinks and things that need to be addressed before it does arrive for us on global. TBD, right? And also it is possible it could be coming already on this update. This is the little preview, and then when we get the big announcement, it's coming. TBD. That's all we can really say. Personally, I wouldn't mind if it comes at like the beginning of April, but it's a little more refined. Because right now, it's hard and that's fun. But the reasons I think it's hard is because it's really hard to stay alive and it's really hard to do enough damage. There's not so many unique, interesting mechanics aside from can you bring a lot of healing and mitigate damage, reduce incoming damage, and can you do a lot of DPS? That's kind of what it feels like. But it was still fun and challenging. But yeah, we'll see. So this is what we're getting. This is going to drop on March the 10th. You can see these are the 3 things they're keying in on. We got faction trials, new challenges. Probably the coolest part, especially for anyone with like a late game account, not even end game, because most people will beat these 2 faction trials we're going to discuss through stage 12, assuming you have the right heroes fairly early-ish on in your journey. When I say that, I mean within like 6 months to a year. So I think this should cover like half the player base. Anyone that's more of a veteran player, you don't have to be super end game like with Abyss 1. So we'll cover that. New artifacts, we'll cover that really briefly. I did a whole video on the 4 new artifacts and also the exclusive gear that almost certainly is coming with this update. And then also the new Guild Wars seasons, season 8. There's gonna be some other stuff though. We'll start with those faction trials. So if you don't know, if we go to faction trials, you can see as of now we have faction trials for all factions except for obviously unnamables. Those can actually be used Ajax and Ymera in every faction trial, and then none of the ancient exclusive factions. So no Chaos and no Arbiter, which I do think it would be cool for them to add. It might be frustrating, annoying for some people, but I think I don't know. I think that most people would be a fan of that. But if you see, we always have the basic trial every day. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7 of these normal factions, whatever you want to call them. And they did this in the past too, and they expanded it to stage 12. Maybe that was like a year and a quarter ago, 15 months ago, something like that. They kind of did it in waves. Esotericist, for example, was one of the very last ones to get a stage 12. So interestingly enough, them and Watch are now the first to get stage 15. So likely this stuff's gonna be a lot harder. I'll take you through it really quick. You can see the theming of the maps is pretty dang similar. You know, Watcher kind of had that like overgrown jungle vibe throughout all the later stages. And then Esotericist had this white tower theme. The Esotericist trials, those updates like 9 through 12 came out around the same time when they dropped the first drop of chapter 9, and it kind of matches. You got the slow uncommon destroyers and all that kind of stuff, the fools. So they look really similar. Stage mechanics, let's start with Watcher. You can see stage 13, 14, 15, there's going to be special enhancement effects and stuff you're going to have to deal with. Some monsters can ignore block. Recommended characters are those with long ranges, so you can hit them earlier before you have to block them, or unlimited ranges. So maybe, you know, Ingrid with her big bursts in AoE mode, or certainly Idril when she's ulting. Heroes with knockback or control are also going to be effective to deal with the fact that you can't block them, but you can stun them or you can knock them back. So you can see these are their examples: Eris, Idril, and Ingrid. Those are going to be our exceptional attack range heroes. For knockback, kind of have a lot of the knockback in this faction, if you think about it. I'm trying to think who else even does knockback. We got Cyclone, we got Magda, but 3 key ones here. We got Callista with her exclusive gear, which should be coming with this update as well. She'll be more consistent. We got Borit, who actually is great for knockback. And then obviously Edith is the knockback queen. And then we've got heroes with some control, so some stunning, things like that. Sun Wukong, Ayn, Livian, and, oh my god, Avalyn. I forgot her name. I forgot her name for a second. Second, and this pisses me off, I'll be honest, and if I was Moonton, if I was Watcher of Realms, I would take this update to introduce an epic hero that could do this. Because they're saying, and also for stage 15, the really hard one, obviously, I'm sure stage it's gonna be like 13's kind of hard, 14's kind of hard, and then I think 15 is way harder. That's how these things usually go. They're saying you're gonna need some kind of hero with offensive dispel, aka a buff strip, dispel enemy buffs. We only have 3 heroes in the whole game that can do that: Lyra, Lucius, and Kagiri. 3 rare heroes. I mean, Kagiri is a limited, never available hero until he comes back, if he comes back on a limited character banner. So you're kind of gated. If this becomes 100% necessary, maybe there's a way to do it without it, but you're gated behind. Basically, were you playing when Kagiri was out? And then did you pull Lucius? That's what it's kind of looking like. This, like, again, like, think about how exciting this would be if the weekend this premieres after the update, or whatever, the midweek next week, that weekend on Raid Up, they're running, you know, Ashley, and she's the new Watcher mage that can dispel buffs, right? Something like that. Because I hate hiding these special skills on legendaries only. You know, this dispel buffs, this anti-heal. Why are these legendary exclusive skills? They said in their interview at the start of the year that they were going to address this. Seems like a great time to address it, in my humble opinion, at least. But you can see you're going to need to do that. You got Lucius with his ult. Kagiri's doing it constantly whenever he triggers his strikes, both during his ult and through his talent. Now they're talking about stage mechanics of the Esotericist trial. A lot of gold that they're shouting out here. Good luck using your Ardith. But they're saying for 13, 14, 15, there's going to be a large quantity of monsters, which is kind of fine because this is one of this and Cultists are kind of the big AoE factions. So I think it's possible, you know, if you use Eye for some freezes, stuff like that, get her ice crystals out everywhere, you might be able to get away with using no blocking. That's how I beat 12, or certainly way a lot of people beat it as well. But you can see you get a ton of extra block with Cyrus, obviously, because of his little skeleton minions. You get Trust gets extra block when he ults. Does Ardith get extra block? I guess he does. Maybe it's from Awakenings, because I don't remember that in his kit. Correct me. I easily could be wrong. You know what? Let's take we do this every video. We take about 20 seconds to just discuss Ardith. I do that in every one of my videos, 500 times a year. Where do you got extra block, buddy? I don't see it. Am I missing something? Is it in the Awakenings? Am I missing something? I've got a pretty good memory for the heroes in this game. Where's Ardith's extra block? Where is it, Ardith? No. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Yeah, I think they're crazy. Okay, that was our 25 seconds on Ardith. I hope you enjoyed it. Signature thing. We do it every video. Get used to it. Let's continue on to the Esotericists. So high block. Then we got heroes with unlimited range. So we got our little duo of legendary Esotericist healers here, where their name begins with an E and ends with an N. We got Ezrin and Eluin. For Ezrin, he's got that something rejuvenation, I believe it's called, where he can send a heal outside of range. His exclusive gear is coming, which is going to make that heal even stronger because it comes with a big penalty. Also, his exclusive artifact can help with that kind of stuff. and awakenings. Ezreal's just a really good healer when you just need healing, which is, we might need here. He'll spam all over the board. That'll be great, all over the map. And then Elowen, it is effectively unlimited as long as there's a melee tile for her Wood Elf that has a deployable function. She can heal everywhere as well. So hope you have both of those guys. Really hope you have Elowen. And then here, there's going to be an increased attack speed mechanic with consecutive strikes on the same target. So that can be reset by disarm. So when I read through this, you might have been thinking what I was thinking. What on God's green earth is disarm? Well, it's not a thing in this game at all. Actually, disarm, not even close. They're talking about curse. They are just talking about curse. A unit that is wearing the curse debuff cannot perform any basic attacks. So maybe they'll occasionally get a passive trigger, or usually like they have their one other skill. It's kind of a full lockout. So they're calling curse disarm. Probably a translation issue. I don't know. There are a few heroes that do it. They kind of shouted it out. A great curse hero is Venoma. Venoma probably is one of the single worst, outside of her Lord skill, which is pretty good, as a hero, probably one of the worst kits in the entire game, but fairly reliable curse. We talked about Comet. Another good source is going to be, where's Yankar? Yankar gets out a ton of curse. You can see whenever he's blocking anyone, he's just going to throw curse on them and keep recycling it. So there are some options. TBD how a Seraphina can do it as well. TBD how actually necessary it is. I would guess. I did a little playing on the Watcher. I haven't played on the Esotericist. They're not keeping it permanently live on test server, so I have to just wait for it to come. But yeah, I got to tell you, I would think with Esoteria order, if you've got enough DPS, if you've got a Comet and a Boreas and an Anora or something, and then you're using I for crowd control, maybe I for damage too, and you've got some healing, I would think you can just blast the whole thing. I think it would take a lot of power creep in the enemies to not just be able to blast through everything. That's my guess. I don't think you have to get into mechanics. I think I found this to probably be the single easiest trial to start, just because there's so much huge AoE. So I thought their 12 is probably, I would vote the easiest. They have that annoying condition that you need all those healers, but then they made Lily an Esotericist healer, so that was fine. And yeah, you can just, as long as you have a Boreas or a Comet or an Anora or somebody that goes boom, I think you're going to be, I don't think you're going to have to build that Seraphina. That's what I'm trying to say. Finally, they're going to have those same guys that when they hit you, they stop you from gaining rage or they knock your rage bar down. So you're going to want extra sources of rage regen. And these are our leafy ladies. That's what we call them. Those green boobies. We've got Elowen and we've got Laurel. New artifacts. We're getting one for Lord Phineas, one for Valderon, and one for Yovar. I covered all those in the other video, so I'll have that in the description, top pin comment. I go through all of it. And then we're getting not an exclusive one, but just another Defender artifact. This increases max HP, which is cool because it's the only mythic Defender artifact that's going to do that. I'm pretty sure. Right? There's the Watch Guards, whatever, the legendary one, but that one is, becomes too weak for you. And then everything else, I don't think it just strictly raises max HP, which is nice. Also raises damage. The issue is it raises the damage a little bit, but it doesn't really raise the max HP very high. You can see that in the video. I break it down. But yeah, more stuff is nice. It's a little funny, the prioritization of a Valderon exclusive and a Yovar exclusive. The Yovar one especially looks quite good. I talked about that in the video, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like the exclusive artifacts, the exclusive gear, those are opportunities to elevate the neglected heroes. And this is just making the top 10, 2 of the top 10 period heroes in the game better, right? It is what it is. We got new maps, and these are already going to be uploaded on my website with the map planner, which I'm going to feature probably in a video within the next week or two. It's fully functional if you guys want to check it out. But I think one of the top uses of the map planner will be sharing Guild War maps, both privately among your guilds, and then you can make a public version as well if you just want to help out the community. Just a quick look at them. It's always hard to theory craft a map like this, without being able to see it. This seems like kind of an Ingrid counter, right? You would want to put Ingrid here. Can't really do that. You could put her here, but she's kind of only one active tile, assuming you get, but no, this is going to be undeployable there, with that green, I'm sure. So it's like, yeah, where you can't really use Ingrid on this map, it feels like, unless you put her here, but then she's vulnerable. So it kind of feels like they're countering that. A lot of melee spots. What is this? 6 melee spots right near the red portal. 4 in a row right here. It's interesting, I would say. This is for the defense tower, for the central keep, a little more of our S-ing, zigzagging, whatever kind of thing. Seems somewhat limited or restricted. I shouldn't say limited, because if I'm looking at this right, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 platforms after this first initial part, but kind of spread out. It'd be kind of interesting. I'm curious, you could maybe do something nice with, like, if you could get your tank up here, hide everyone else here, maybe a long range fighter, or maybe this is where you get an Ingrid if she could reach and start spamming. Seems like an interesting little setup. We are getting a new Demon Soldier, the Chaos Shaman, periodically grants enhanced basic attack to nearby ground allied demon soldiers. The enhancement effect gains a bonus on demon soldiers with the Mark of Chaos. They're trying to do this faction thing where you've got like the I think it's the Mark of Frost. I think that's what it is. It's the Cold Boys and the Hot Boys, basically. So you got the Chaos ones like the Infernal Cleric, and then you have the one that we have right now. Let me tell you what that mark is actually right now. Do I still not have him? Yeah, I still don't have him. This is the Frostborn Scholar. It's called the Mark of the Frostborn. You can see that behind me. So you have the Mark of Chaos and the Mark of the Frostborn. How do I still not have this guy, man? I got to get 5 more frags. I got to get that going. He'll and if you don't know, he's the current season 1 for season 7. Whenever we finish a season after that, the former featured season Demon Soldier will get sent to be farmable somewhere. From one of the gear raids or something like that, and or have a chance to drop from guild boss, things like that. So yeah, maybe I can get some copies. You guys can get some copies too. He seems really good, but I haven't played with him yet. This other guy seems fine. I mean, we'll take testing. It's like, how much is he going to amp up their basics? Are they just going to start shredding Brokiers or not? I'm guessing no. I think this is going to be worse than the Cleric, but it could be cool. Emote's nice. Border's fine. If we look down here, we're getting a new skin for Eye. Okay, yeah. They changed everything except for the most important part. So this is looking pretty cool. What do we got? Chat bubble, guild pattern, refining crystal. I really wish they'd up the rewards a little bit, especially on the lower levels. But all in all, looks pretty cool. Fun headdress. Nice. Probably we won't get this until, I'm guessing, until a whole rotation from now, because we still need to get the Maul skin, the Fiery Maul. So this is probably gonna be the Gladiator's Gauntlet rewards after season 8, right? So right now we're finishing season 7, then it'll be the season 7 Gladiator's Gauntlet, the little tourney, then we'll get into this. So there you guys go. It's not a bad update at all, but you can see it feels kind of underwhelming. I am pretty convinced this is incomplete. When we get the full notes, I'll make a more formal video breaking all that down, but I did want to cover this. You might also be wondering, I promised you guys yesterday morning, so if you made this, you're going to get your update on this now. I promised you guys yesterday morning a breakdown of this lady over here, Lynx, as she gyrates and licks herself behind me. I think you can kind of understand why I wasn't so eager to film a whole video yesterday morning about her. I'll tell you very quick, she is on raid up this weekend. I think it's hilarious. She's going to be really good, especially in Guild Wars defense. I think it's really funny that they use her picture instead of Elwyn, the best hero in the game. But, whatever they need, we'll obviously break this banner down in pretty strong detail over the next 2 days. But I am going to break her down. But I couldn't deal with this yesterday morning. Like, it'd be one thing if it was just like a furry energy, but like the weird, kind of hips don't lie vibe and the licking, this is not for me. And I didn't want to look at it. I was tired yesterday morning. I didn't want to look at it for 20 minutes or whatever. Maybe it could be an hour if I had trouble filming like I did today. So yeah, I'll do this video tomorrow morning. I promise you now. But there's Lynx. She looks like, especially if you have Ymeric, if you could stack her and Ymeric together, which is what I'm probably going to intend on doing, at least to test out if I can snag a copy, that Winter's Bite stacking will probably make people want to quit Guild Wars. So terrible when you're going against it as an offense, but when you're doing it as your defense, it could be pretty good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Fastidious. If you like my stuff, please like it. Let me know what you think. Is this update enough? Are you hopeful like me that a couple more things are going to be added? Let me know in the comments. Share with your mother, and we'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.